My daughter wants to hand out bookmarks this year for Valentine's Day, so I thought it would be fun to show you how you can design your own bookmarks in Canva and then cut them out using your Cricut machine. We're also going to laminate these bookmarks today, which will give them more of a professional look to them. If we're just meeting right now, hi, my name is Nisha. Welcome to Little Craft Nest. We're going to start creating our bookmarks in Canva, so head over to canva.com and click on Create Add Design. Click on Custom Size, and you're going to change your units of measure from pixels to inches. Let's make a width of 1.5 inches and a height of 4.5 inches. Now you can make your bookmarks bigger or smaller if you want. I like this size because I know I'll be able to get 8 on a page later on, but more on that later. So let's click Create New Design. So here is our bookmark template, and we want to start off with a pretty Valentine's background. So let's head over to Elements, and I'm going to search for Valentine's hearts. And here you can look through the graphics if you want. I'm actually going to check out the photos first. So under photos, I'm going to click on See All, and there are so many different designs to choose from here. Just keep in mind that if there is a crown beside the image, that means it is part of the Canva Pro subscription. So if you have a Canva Pro subscription, you can use those images. But if you are using the free version of Canva, you'll want to look for images that don't have that crown, such as this one or this one or this one. There is still a lot to choose from. I am going to select this one here just by clicking on it. It has lots of pretty Valentine's colors and some hearts down the side. And I'm just going to stretch this out over my template. So I've stretched it out, but I want a little more hearts. As you can see here on the side, on the right-hand side of this photo, there are more hearts. So we can move this over to the side and drag our picture this way a little bit. And I'm liking the placement of this photo here. We can bring in this line here. You don't have to, doesn't really matter, but just to keep things nice and clean. So now we have a nice background for our bookmark, and you can go ahead and add some text or more graphics to this if you'd like. I'm gonna go back over to our elements here, and we're gonna search for something else. So this time I'm gonna type out "life is better." I found this image text earlier, so let's see if I can bring that up again. I am going to look under graphics this time instead of photos. And here it is right here. It is a pro image, so you do need Canva Pro to be able to use this one. So it says "life is better with you." So these colors here don't really match too well with the bookmark, so I'm going to change them a little bit. So if we go up to the top, you'll see those 3 color dots, and these are the colors of this text over here. So let's click on that first blue color, and I want a blue color still, but I want it to be a little brighter, kind of matching with one of these colors here. So I'm going to click on Add a New Color and just play around with the colors up here until I get a blue that I like. And I think that's looking good. It's nice and bright. It stands out a little more. Now let's click on the yellow and let's make this purple. So let's go back to the color circle with the plus sign in it, and we'll go over to our purple colors. And that color I just clicked on actually looks quite good. It's nice and bright. I'm liking it. So, and we'll do the same for the pink. I'm just gonna find a brighter pink color. All right, I'm liking these colors much better, but I still want these words to pop out a little bit. They are blending in with the background a little too much for me. So we can go back up to the top and click on Edit. And then under Effects, we're going to click on Shadows and then click on Outline. And you can see we just got a black outline around the text. I actually want to make our outline white. So under Color here, we're going to click on that black circle and we will make that white. You can also go under Size here and make that outline a little bigger if you'd like. You can make it quite big or you can bring it down. It's up to you. You're designing it. Be creative and do what you think looks best. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna stretch this out a little bit more so it looks a little bigger. And I feel like we need some X and O's at the bottom. So back up to the search bar and I'm just gonna type XO. And I like the second one here with the X and the heart-shaped O. So I'm going to click on that. So that's on our canvas, and I'm going to bring it right below. Now this is a really light purple. It's hard to see. So let's make this the same color as the word better. So with the X and O selected, go up to the top to that color circle, and then under photo colors, you'll see the colors we previously used in our Life is Better with You text, and we can choose that same pink right here that we just used for the word better. And then we can go back up to edit, click on shadows. We're gonna do an outline again. Let's change this to white, and we can make the size a little bigger as well. And then if you need to, you can move things around a little bit just to position them the way you want them to be. And I'm just loving the look of this bookmark that we just created. So let's download this, and then we'll go into Cricut Design Space to get some bookmarks cut out. So let's click on Share at the top right-hand corner. Click on download. We will be downloading this as a PNG, so you don't need to change the file type here, and then just click on download. Once your design is downloaded, open up Cricut Design Space, and we're gonna start a new project, and then head over to upload on the left-hand side. Click on upload image, and you can either browse for that file you just downloaded, or you can drag and drop it onto your page, and then click on continue. We don't need to do anything on this screen, so click on apply and continue. And we're going to be converting this to a flat graphic because we will be printing this out and then cutting it. So select flat graphic and then click on continue. Here you can give your bookmark a name if you want. You can call it Valentine's bookmark, and you can add some keywords if you want. You could type in hearts or Valentine so that you're able to find it later on when you go back in a year and try to find this project that you made. And then click on upload. Now, when we upload our design into Design Space, you'll notice under size that our bookmark is much bigger. Now you can print out your bookmark to be this size if you wanted to, but because I'm wanting to make a whole pile of these bookmarks and hand them out to piles of kids, I want to be as cost effective as possible. So I want to be able to get 8 bookmarks on one sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to resize this back to a width of 1.5 inches, and that will automatically make our height 4.5 inches. And that's all we need to do on the Design Space canvas. So now we can go ahead and click on Make at the top right. You can save your project if you want. I'm not going to at this time. And here is where we will duplicate the number of bookmarks we are going to make. So right now you can see we only have one bookmark on our sheet of paper. So under project copies at the top, we're going to change this to 8 and click apply. And now you can see we have 8 bookmarks on one sheet, which is awesome. Also, make sure you have the right material size selected. I am using 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, but if you're using a different size of paper in your printer, make sure you change that. Then you can go ahead and click on continue. So now we're going to send our bookmarks to the printer. So click on send to printer. I'm going to leave the bleed on for this project, and I'm going to use my system dialog. So I'm going to switch that toggle on. Now, before I continue, I should mention that if you have not calibrated your Cricut machine in a while, go ahead and do that first. If you want to learn more about how to do that, I will leave a link to another video below in the description, which you can check out later. And then we're just going to click on print. Now you may have a circle spinning in front of you and you may be wondering, where's the system dialog box? Often it's hiding behind your Design Space application. So you can move your application out of the way. I have something else open here. And there is the print dialog box. So I am printing this on cardstock. So under media and quality, under media type, I'm just going to change this to plain paper, even though it is cardstock. And I'm going to change the quality from normal to best. And then load your cardstock into your printer and click on print. Now, before we get our Cricut to cut these out, we're going to add a laminate sheet on top of our bookmarks That's going to give them a little more durability, make them a little waterproof. And I have 2 sheets of laminate here. I'm actually going to put one on the front and one on the back. Now, if you want, you can just do the front. That is totally up to you. But I do find they look more professional when you've got the laminate on both sides. So these laminate sheets I got, they're from HTV Ron. I absolutely love these laminate sheets because I find them very easy to apply. The only thing is that it is bigger than my sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. So I'm gonna need to cut this down first. And when doing print then cut, sometimes the sensors on the Cricut machine have a hard time reading these registration marks when you have something glossy on top. So I like cutting my laminate sheets down so that they fit within the registration marks. So I'm just putting a mark with inside the marks here so I know where to cut. And then you can just take a paper trimmer and cut this down to size. Then I've got a weeding pen here, and I'm just going to fold back the backing of the laminate sheet. So this paper backing here, just fold that back. I like doing it on an angle and putting a little crease there. And then I start by lining it up at the bottom between those registration marks. Push it up to the front, and then you can slowly push down that corner so it's sticking to your paper. And then you can lift it up, pull that tab under here. And at the same time, I like using a squeegee here. You can push with the squeegee. And we've got our laminate sheet on there and there's no wrinkles. And that's why I love these laminate sheets because I hardly ever get wrinkles with them. Some laminate sheets, I find them a little too flimsy and then I'm always getting bubbles in them. I really like these ones. You can also use a brayer over top if you want, just to make sure it is stuck on there well. Now, for the back side, you don't have to be as precise with your laminate sheet, but the laminate sheet is still bigger than my piece of paper. So I am going to cut it down a little bit, but it doesn't need to be within any registration marks. So the back side is going to be a little easier to put down. So I'm just doing the same thing here, peeling back the corner. We're gonna stick this on our page, push down the corner that we peeled back, and then we'll grab that tab underneath, grab the squeegee to put on the other side, and then push that laminate sheet down. And again, you can use your brayer over top of that as well. Then you can grab a Cricut mat and place that on the top left corner of your mat. Make sure this arrow in the top left-hand corner is pointing up at the little Cricut symbol on your mat. That way you'll know you have it on your mat correctly. And again, you can take your brayer and go over top of it one more time to make sure it is stuck on your mat well. And then back on Design Space, we need to select our base material. So click on Browse All Materials. And the third item I have here is corrugated cardboard, and that's the setting I am going to use. If you don't see it, you can go ahead and search for that at the top, but it should be the third one down. Now, if you only put laminate on one side of your sheet, you didn't put it on the front and the back, you can select cardstock adhesive backed, and that setting seems to work well. Now, if you didn't use laminate on your paper at all and you're just using cardstock, you would just select cardstock then. I'm gonna click on done, and then we can load our mat into the Cricut machine and get this cut out. When you're placing your mat in your Cricut machine, make sure it's going under the tabs at the side. We're gonna press the green flashing arrows. And then once the play button starts flashing, go ahead and click on that. Your Cricut machine will start by scanning the registration marks in the corners. And once it's finished doing that, it'll begin to cut out each of your bookmarks. Once it's done, before ejecting your mat, double check to make sure that your bookmarks have been cut all the way through. So you can lift up the bottom piece of your cardstock here and make sure it has cut all the way through. It looks like mine is good, but if yours didn't cut all the way through, you can press the start button again and have your Cricut cut it out one more time. Mine cut through, so I'm going to click on the flashing arrows. To take your bookmarks off your mat without getting any bends or creases in them, it's best to peel your mat off your bookmarks rather than just peeling them off the mat. So I'm peeling back my Cricut mat and making sure my bookmarks lie flat. And here they are. Some of them may stick to the edges a little bit. That's just because we've got the laminate on both sides. So you may have to pull some of them a little bit just to loosen them. And look how cute these turned out. These are going to be great little classroom Valentine's gifts. I also made some other ones here. Here's another cute design I also made on Canva. So be creative, come up with some fun designs on Canva. Have fun handing these out for Valentine's Day or really any holiday you want. And I hope to see you on more crafting adventures.